raise the rent of all single mothers.
But I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good!
I beg your pardon?
Whether you like him or don't like him, there's nothing you could do about him because he's number one. Whether you like him or don't like him, there's nothing you can do about him because he's number one.
Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
𝒔𝒐𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍𝒔.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby.
No, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room,
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. They don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
What's up, everybody? Welcome. Thanks for tuning in to my show. I'm the American Anchor Baby, and we're going to have a show today. Much appreciated. Thanks for dropping in, building suspense. Very nice. Nick, Anchor Baby on time. He white. Yes, we're celebrating White History Month today properly. Only, 60 seconds, maybe 120 seconds late? Still not white enough. All right, y'all. Like I said, welcome to my show. Appreciate you tuning in. Follow and subscribe. Drop that like if you like. Drop that comment if you hate or if you like. And also, you can support me on Rumble. Over there on Rumble. It's a party. Luminiferous, I see you. Appreciate it. American Anchor Baby on Rumble. A free speech platform. Nice. And so we'll be dealing with a couple of things today. I want to jump into it. You know, I don't know if anybody caught Sneeko on the JLP show earlier. I have some commentary on that, and so we'll get the deep stuff out of the way. Let's get the deep stuff out of the way so that we can get to the silly stuff and the not so important things. So thank you, Sneeko, for giving me a show because it was going to be a whole lot of I'm playing around. Yes, happy 5th day of White History Month. That as well. Yes, Street Chronicles, it was amazing. And so I'll do a commentary on that as well as some other things. And, of course, your calls, 888-775-3773. You want to jump in there? We could chat. What's up, Mr. Matt? Haven't seen you in a while. Very cool. Triple T, JS, Kilo, Alpha Tango, John, Frederick, Carlota, all of you. What's up? Welcome, welcome. So, Sneeko is on the JLP show. Sneeko is a popular online content creator who's been making content since he was 14, making videos, inspirational stuff. And really, it's interesting because you can see, well, now a lot of those videos have been deleted due to his violation of the community guidelines. Okay, you can't be mean, you can't be saying certain words, and he doesn't really self-censor like that. So, Also some controversies. But basically, you could see this guy's growth on YouTube. It's very interesting that, you got to understand YouTube, social media. Think about the iPhone. It's only been, when was the iPhone created? When? Invented 2007. When was YouTube created? 2005. It really hasn't been that many years of all of this advent of technology and social media the way we see it now. We're talking about personal computers in your pockets, the smartphone being as ubiquitous as it is. So it's an interesting thing to see an individual growing up at this time period and putting their whole life since 14 online, and you see their growth. It's definitely fascinating. So I've been watching him a little bit, especially lately, with his, the content he's put out lately. He's successful, super viral at times. So Sneako has been working on himself for a long time. And he's built a platform where his message is essentially that you could do anything, okay? And he's built wealth and status and made a name for himself in that respect. So mad respect for that. And it's not for nothing either. It's because the content's good. Content is king. You can't beat it when the product is good, when what you make is good. The rest comes, right? The rest follows. And so I respect what he's done and all that, sincerely. It's interesting to see that conversation, though, with Jesse and what parts of that conversation seem to impact Sneako or make him think. And for me, the whole interview, it was further proof for me that the answers we are all seeking are not out there, not in the world. Okay? Because even the most asleep person, if you will, they're seeking something, an answer. We live by belief. We live by this. And sometimes we fill that with false answers, but it seems like everyone I know is seeking something, even if it's shallow, okay? And you see this sort of methodology out there with this self-improvement scene, okay? You've seen this too. I've played clips. I've talked about it. There's some of these, communities call themselves Red Pill, the Red Pill community, self-help, improvement, basically. And you find a similar methodology, if you will, in some of these male-oriented self-improvement scenes, okay? It's always something like going to the gym, self-responsibility, increasing your wealth and status, how to get women, using those previous things to get those women, improving stuff about you, whether it's character or looks or status and wealth, improving those areas of your life that you haven't worked on so that you can have the life and acquire the life that you dream of. Turns out a lot of people dream of women. Jeez, what are we going to do? Anyway. But anyone who's done any kind of work on themselves, building themselves up, a career, skills, or forgiving your mother, anyone who's done that, any work on themselves, knows how exciting or maybe even addictive. You following me here? Like lifting heavy, making money, seeing actual movement in your life, okay? A little is enough to get you motivated for more. A little is enough to get you going. You see it happening and you fall in love with the process, okay? But to what end? To what end are you doing that? Now, if your end is to create these things, improve these aspects of your life, well, that's one thing, right? With the mentality, that like I said, if the end of increasing your wealth is just to increase your wealth, well, that's one thing, right? At least you know you're just increasing your wealth. But if your mentality is that those things that you're trying to acquire is what's missing in your life, then you can only arrive to an empty answer. And the thing is, we all know this already. We all know this inside. We all know the emptiness of the world. We know this. Somewhere deep inside, we know that all these things we're seeking aren't going to make anything truly better, make us feel better. We know it's a cope. We know it's a Band-Aid. So you end up pondering these things, and well, some ponder these things and think, well, what to what end, right? Are we here to just make money and grow and just live this world, like live this race, this rat race, this game? Are we here to multiply, be fruitful and multiply? Are we just these evolutionary creatures and our experience is merely hormones and chemicals slapping together? You start pondering these things and think, well, how is increasing my wealth and all that, how is that the answer to suffering, for example, or the answer to life in those tough moments? Okay? And now there's a reason, though, why so many young men gravitate to the red pill stuff, self-improvement, okay? A lot of these people are very knowledgeable, okay? They're very knowledgeable, okay? And when you have certain knowledge, you can leverage that knowledge in the physical world, okay? Which is you could call that a form of magic, black magic. For example, like when you know how emotional women are, and you just know that they're led by emotion, then you discover the secret black arts of manipulating women. And so that knowledge is amassed by individuals. So you can see how people gravitate, because they see they see movement, they see progress. Okay? So it's not discounting any of that. It's also not discounting the fact that we live in a physical world, okay? And in this physical world, we need physical vehicles. But I'll get to that in a moment. I'm left wondering, what is our purpose, right? When you ponder that, let's say you believe in God, okay? It's almost normal to end up arriving to the question, well, what would God want you to do? Well, what does God want for you? Your purpose. What does God want you to do? I personally believe God, he wants his sons to, for example, to lead women out of her darkness. That's something I believe. That men have that responsibility to lead the woman out of her darkness. Okay? It's expressed poetically, maybe literally, in the Adam and Eve story. We see this throughout the Word. But you bring the woman out of her darkness as you overcome your darkness through God. Okay? So you start arriving to different conclusions than acquiring wealth and women and stuff. Okay? And this is not at all like a put down. It's just, like I said, it's a difference of worldview and what you arrive to in life. Because it's definitely not a put down. Imagine me sitting here saying, look at that guy with all that stuff. It's like, yeah, well, show me all the stuff you did. So it's not a put down of what they've done. For me, I've always known personally that I've always had a suspicion, an inkling, and then eventually examining myself, I always realized that I had things about me that I can't change, okay? In fact, certain things about me that would make acquiring such physical things like wealth and status would make it poisonous to my life individually. Like, for example, give me $1 million 5 years ago. I might have killed myself with that money. You understanding me here? And so ever since I discovered that about myself, I basically set out to understand it, okay? Knowing that the rest will come, the physical things. perfect and at the right time. Jesse asked Sean and Hassan earlier on the show as well about having goals, okay? Having goals that you should meet. A plan about having goals, okay? And I think you should, personally. Especially a lot of you guys that have heard, a lot of you guys in the chat or whatever, that have heard Jesse say to forgive and to work on yourselves, okay? I feel like a lot of us, really a lot of people, this can be general, but I'm also talking to you guys here who know about Jesse, about forgiveness. I feel like a lot of us get stuck questioning and wondering what our life could look like if we just had no anger or weren't subject to thoughts. And then we remain there. Okay? Because we know that of ourselves we can do nothing. But I don't know, it's almost like we take the joke too far and stay stuck wondering what our life could be like. Instead, you should go and live, okay? Go and just live your life. Drop the analysis paralysis. Anybody relate? Analysis paralysis, a.k.a. devil worship, okay? Who's giving you the analysis in your mind that you're paralyzed at anyways in the first place? This was doubly for you smart people out there. You live by that mind, so it's hard to get out of there. Stop the analysis paralysis and go live life. You know, meet life head on and see where you stand with God, where you stand with the thoughts, with anger, where you are, for real. And this is especially true, you know, for certain men, stubborn men. Let's be real, stubborn. Us stubborn guys, we need to go through pain or something for us to see the truth about ourselves, for us to just see the truth for ourselves. Sometimes it requires that. Us stubborn guys. But all I'm saying about that is just don't deprive yourself of that growth by not having what you might call, like shallow goals, okay? Because the thing is, when you have motion in your life, you don't have time for depression, thoughts, and all that. And in that process, you start steeling yourself against the very thing Jesse talks about, the mind. It's like a muscle you're working on. And so when you see it like that, you can understand the spirit behind the self-help guys. Go to the gym, build yourself up. It's not a put down on that. But to what end? And this interview for me just is further proof that you could get all this stuff, you could do this or that, and you'll still have anger. You'll still be subject to women. You won't have overcome your mother. You feel me? So don't judge these guys, okay? The red pill, Sneeko. I saw the chat. You guys were going off in the chat. You guys were like, oh, this is great. But there was especially at the beginning, beta, this guy's full of ego, da-da-da. It's like, hold on, guys. Can we hear him out? Can we hear him out? I can't take you guys anywhere. We can't have nice things because I swear I can't take chat anywhere. Jeez. It's like chat, come on. Can we have some decorum? I can't take you guys anywhere. I saw someone in the chat say, withstanding, I'm paraphrasing, but withstanding the JLP chat is a rite of passage, okay? Fair enough. We love the snake pit, right? We love the snake pit, right? So don't judge these guys. You should be prepared for life, okay? Because imagine this for a second. And you know how it is, imagining and thinking about the future and what ifs. Not real, but think about this for a second. If anyone saw what I saw, those questions Jesse was asking Sneeko, I think it really made him think. Imagine Sneeko forgiving and spreading that message, and the fact that he's built such a platform and all that, allowing him a physical vehicle to be unstoppable. Really unstoppable, just like all of you who forgave at home. You're unstoppable as well. But we still live in this world, and in this world you require physical vehicles. Why would you want your purpose to be status and fulfillment? That's how you get these people who can't see beyond their current situation. They say things like, oh, I have a crappy job, or a crappy girlfriend, a crappy life. Not realizing those crappy things are amazing. They're incredible things. This crappy job, if you just didn't judge it, you would learn the things that you need to learn right there and then in your life that will lead to the next thing, right? Everybody want $1 million, but they don't want to go through the crappy job and learn how to be quiet and head down, do a good job no matter what. You can't see beyond your situation because your purpose is status and fulfillment, which is the Faustian bargain of seeking those things for that end and for that purpose. Most people don't acquire them. They just chase them endlessly. And then they see the people who have through an almost demonic will. They willed it so, and they say, I can do that. I can be that person, not realizing that you can't be someone else. Okay? Not that you can't learn and then acquire things for yourself, but I see that. It's just an example I see in life. People I know, and just kind of in general, examining life. It seems like a rat race, a Faustian bargain, chasing something you'll never acquire because you're going after the wrong things. You don't realize the things holding you back are not the lack of those physical things. It's stuff that's inside. Okay? Because if you realize what I'm saying here, then you know. I'll say this in a second. I just want to say, that being said, everything I said, your goals, what you've acquired, the amount of work you do, which is sometimes shown in your wealth or your body, it's not who you are and won't bring you to true peace. I'm convinced that we are spirits because I've seen that for myself. I've seen the evil of the mind and how I can't change myself. So I know we're spirits. So if you understand what I'm saying here, then you realize that the material is simply a shadow, an imprint of the immaterial. Okay? Your soul and heart is expressed into the world through the physical, not the other way around. Okay? So, like in my example of this rat race, someone chasing wealth and never acquiring it because they're chasing wealth, not realizing that the immaterial, what's going on immaterially in their spirit is what's holding them back from these treasures of the world, because the world is yours. Am I making sense? You follow me here? Anyways, though, it's such a funny reality to me, too, because it points back to the arrogance of people and man. It's like all this looking, all this chasing and looking, and it was right under your nose. You know what I'm saying here? Anyways. So we're going to stop all this. How about this? We're going to stop all this wondering. We're going to stop all this wondering. Now, if you don't know, if you know that you know that you know, then continue seeking and questioning. But on some things, guys, some of you guys that already forgave, some of you guys that are, okay? Stop. Yeah. Am I saved? Do I have anger? Oh, is God working on my life? We're going to stop all this wondering and we're just going to live, all right? And then you will know. Okay, anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. A great interview if you haven't checked it out. Sneeko on the JLP show. You could podcast the Jesse Lee Peterson show, of course. Yep. But anyways, let me move on here. What's chat saying here? The snake pit ain't effing around. I know. It's like, I can't take you guys anywhere. Can we have some decorum? I do have some super chats here. I do appreciate it. Evgeny Crosby with the first class super chat there says, New York is so beta now, especially the fireworks. Ooh, I got something to so I have a segment on fireworks here. We're going to get into that. And praise God 10 with the super chat there says, Nick, you believe God of Old Testament is the Father? I think so, yeah. I think so. I'm not quite sure what you mean by the question, because my impression is, and I've heard that the God of the Old Testament is different from the God of the New Testament. I've heard stuff like that. And in some passages you see right, like that the God of the Old Testament is, he's kind of more edgy, right? He's spicier. He's like, let me rain fire and brimstone. It's what I've heard. I may have read some stuff like that. I can't say I totally know. But God doesn't just change, does he? That's just obvious. He doesn't just, it wasn't one God back then, and then it became a new God. God is one, God is God, and God is God. I mean, that's just kind of my impression. That's just my logic, using logic to arrive to that. I can't say I really know what you mean there. Praise God. 10, 10, 10, but I do appreciate your support. I don't know. The only thing I can conclude is God is still God. You know, Old Testament or New. Right? Thank you, Space Cadet. Says, you exhibit remarkable modesty and decorum. Yes. Yes, we show some decorum, right? That's why I somewhat believe liberals are more free than conservatives. They explore the world uncontested without doubt, whereas conservatives are always questioning themselves. That is such an interesting point. Everything is fake. Yeah, having the knowledge of something, like that's basically like the tree of knowledge in the Garden of Eden. It's like the knowledge. It's like having the knowledge, especially before you're supposed to know. It's just, it doesn't really mean anything. And you got these conservatives who they have woken up to morality, for example. You're not supposed to act or feel or think like this. And so it's like what happens with Christians too. Same thing. They get the knowledge. They eat from the tree of knowledge Satan gives them, or whatever. They eat from the tree and they realize that they're naked before they're supposed to. And the knowledge leads them instead of the spirit. Jafeel? Am I making any sense here, guy? Am I making any sense here, y'all? Come on. Appreciate the super chats and the support there. Very nice. But what was it? It was 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎 saying New York is so beta now, especially the fireworks. What do you mean by that? Are you saying the fireworks are beta now? Because I'm kind of feeling the same way, guys. How was your 4th of July? 4th of July. One of the most celebrated Mexican holidays here in Southern California. Yes, 4th of July is a very, very important Mexican holiday. Did you know this? Did you enjoy your 4th of July? What'd you guys do? You have some hot dogs? Did you get your hot dogs? I enjoyed myself some homemade mustard fried smash burgers a la In-N-Out. Very good. Homemade, very good. Just delicious. Smash your burgers, ladies and gentlemen, please. If you go and do your Googles, you'll find out, you'll come to find out that smashing your burgers is the only way, okay? That is the bleeding edge of hamburger meta, okay? And until I'm shown a more advanced method, a more bleeding edge meta than smashing the burgers, then I'm going to continue doing it this way, okay? So go do your Googles. You'll see that I'm correct. Did you see any fireworks? What's up with the Mexican and the fireworks, okay? This is what I'm saying about being the most important Mexican holiday, because every year I see these viral videos of Boricuas and Latinos in New York doing fireworks all hours of the night. Way too late. Just way too late, okay? I know it's a holiday, but 3 a.m. is way too late. I used to live in Hollywood, okay? Around here, too. I used to live near, like, Hollywood area. 3 a.m., still fireworks, trying to sleep. Still, bow, 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 just fireworks. And I look outside, you'll see, like, smoke, just like a layer of smoke just hanging, just kind of clinging to the asphalt. Just kind of smoke, it looks like a fog almost. It's all the powder, all the exploding powder. Okay? Hey, you gotta appreciate the Latino, the Mexicans really going out there for America, right? That's what they're out there for, right? Not very white of them. I feel like even in a holiday, there's a cutoff. There's a cutoff. People want to sleep. Okay, this is ridiculous. Exploding. It's like a war zone out there too. Just an absolute war zone. All this smoke, nonstop till 3 a.m. It's like, guys, come on. But yeah, I saw some fireworks. It was nice. You gotta love the big booms, right? Did you see any drone shows? Anybody see these drone shows? I just became aware of this. I just was made aware of drone shows, okay? You know what I'm talking about here? Anybody see one of these? Let me just show you an example, a little drone show action. Oh, sorry about that. I just stopped the clip. My apologies. You might notice the music is backwards, okay? I'm not trying to be satanic here, but the music is backwards so that I don't get copyright striked or something like that. Okay? So if you're hearing some demonic chanting, it's because the clip I'm playing, the audio, I've reversed it. Wait, did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? I'm sorry, I want to comment on the video, but I'm listening to the audio here. I'm having a little bit of a another one bites the dust moment here. Are we getting satanic? Did anybody hear a message in that cursed reverse clip? Yes, we heard backwards music. No, but I heard a voice. I heard a voice in it. What was it saying? Was it saying, it sounded like, quiero rigo tovare. Quiero rigo tovare. Quiero tovare. Quiero rigo tovare. Queremos rigo tovare. Am I stretching it? Is that the satanic message? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Back in the day, they said they would say popular music played backwards had satanic messages, like Another One Bites the Dust, the Queen song backwards. What does it say? What does another one? Some of us smoke marijuana is the satanic message in Another One Bites the Dust. If you play it backwards. Except this one, quiero rico tortillas. Maybe that's what it said, David C. Quiero rico tortillas. Not very America. So when you reverse a July 4th clip, you get Mexican nationalism. But you saw the clip. What you saw were those lights in the sky making shapes. Those were drones. Those were drones in the sky, following a formation and making nice little pictures in the sky, as opposed to fireworks. Anybody see a drone show yesterday? So it's drone shows now? I mean, they could be impressive, right? But honestly, I feel like going on a boomer rant about them. Straight up, okay? They're like, what? Ooh, silent, sleek. How about beta fireworks? How about beta fireworks, huh? No more beta fireworks, okay? I want my fireworks to boom. I want my fireworks to go boom, okay? I don't want these beta fireworks, electric fireworks. What the heck is this? Like, okay, it's cute. Okay, it might be impressive, but as a fireworks replacement, what kind of world is this? What woman was behind this? I want to know what woman was behind the beta electric fireworks, okay? I want analog fireworks that go boom. Alpha fireworks. That's what I'm saying. Drone shows are for the rich. Oh, they're affluent. Then I kind of like them. Kind of like really, really white teeth. You know how really, really white teeth look a little odd and little like, wow, that is a really white teeth smile. I kind of like that. It's like affluent. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know, Barbie movie affluence. It's like, wow, it's a status symbol. Drone shows are the vape pens of fireworks. Yeah. Fireworks are for the people. Drones are for the globalist elite. How about that? Whatever. It's fine, right? Drone shows, funny, impressive, cool. But they can't replace fireworks. Look, we need to cleanse our palates here. We're going to have to cleanse our palates here from these beta fireworks. Okay, some of you in the chat, you guys are sounding like you guys all you guys had were drone shows yesterday. I'm seeing the energy in the chat. It sounds like that's all you guys had yesterday. So we're gonna cleanse our palate here, okay, with two particularly legendary firework videos. Okay, any of you people terminally online, always on the internet, probably have already seen these, but we got some legendary fireworks videos. Okay. 2012 particularly. 4th of July celebration, San Francisco, legendary moment in 2012. North California's biggest 4th of July fireworks show happens every year. Well, it was 2012 when, due to a technical error, seems to be a lot of those lately. Lots of errors, human error, technical errors, just quality just falling apart. Why you won't catch me skydiving or going down a submarine to go see the Titanic anytime soon. It's mostly out of that. I'm not going to die because of someone else's incompetence. Well, technical issue at 2012, San Diego fireworks set them all off all at once in this legendary fireworks moment that we're going to enjoy and, inject a little energy into you guys. You guys had drone shows yesterday, obviously, and it shows.
This is insane.
This is the best fireworks show ever.
I'm done. I'll go now.
That was perfect.
Okay, yeah, that's how fireworks should sound like. We got the big boom. Come on. That was, what, couple $1,000 of fireworks gone in 15 seconds? Many reported to be disappointed after the show in San Francisco. I don't know about you guys. If I was there, I'd be quite amazed. I mean, it lit up the whole sky. Jeez. 15 seconds all at once. You gotta love it. Legendary fireworks clip. That's how it's done, y'all. Or maybe that's a mistake. That's not how they meant to do it, but it's definitely a show. It's definitely no drone show. Can we get... I want America back. Do I get to say that? Am I allowed to say that? Or how about this one, okay? This is a legendary moment. Another all the fireworks went off all at once when you didn't mean to moment. That was legendary on the internet. How about this one? Just a family chilling out. Dads are out. The dads are out. Uh-oh. Somebody get the kids. All right, calm down. It's over. Oh, wait, hold on. I love that clip because you don't know how it ends. It just ends even crazier, so you don't know the aftermath. You don't know if that car didn't make it, if there was injuries. Like, it's funny. I love that. Classic clip, as Will Cole says. It's just a good one, okay, guys? Now that's some fun. Now that's a fireworks show. Bye-bye car. You know the husbands aren't going to hear the end of that one. You know the wives are just going to forever like, oh, you put my baby in danger. You saw the moms run up and grab the babies. The dads are letting out the fireworks go. Wanton destruction. Not caring. Got a little spicier than they planned. Got a little spicier than they wanted to. They wanted it to be. You know they're not going to hear the end of that from the wives, okay? You know that's true. Next July 4th, oh. Honey, we're going to go buy fireworks. No! We're just trying to have fun. Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Sandy. You can't walk out of a drive-in movie. Okay. But that's the beta fireworks versus the alpha fireworks. All right, come on, guys. Let's be real. This is America. Ask the pilgrims. Okay. Oh. All right. Let me move on here. Let's pivot here. We got some more show. We got plenty to do. 888-775-3773. If you want to jump in there, we got open lines. Let me get into this. What should I do next? Red flags. Ooh, what should I do? Okay. There was a... Okay, let's do this. We're talking a little bit about the red pill guys earlier. Talking a little bit about dating, acquiring wealth, and disregard women acquire wealth. How about that? Acquiring these things. We're talking about the red pill and self-help and that kind of stuff. And things aren't working, okay, guys? Things are kind of not working between men and women. They're at odds, okay? Big fight, trying to figure each other out. It seems like both sides use each other. No real love between the men and the women. We're seeing this expressed with high divorce rates, low birth rates, and droves of miserable feminist women, okay? And a lot of people are wondering just how did things get so complicated between men and women? How do we allow things to get so complicated? And I've talked about this complexity before, a complexity between a relationship, okay? And how it comes about and where it arises. And so you might want to check out a previous show about that. But I was saying how the complexity really... I was asking, where is that complexity? Where does it lie? Where is the realm or dimension between two people where complexity can exist? Where is that? And I conclude that complexity really only is in your own mind, okay? Because if you notice, a lot of times in relationships, we're trying to make up for stuff. We're trying to go back and make up for looking a certain way or something you said or something you may have made the other person feel. And and we're trying to make up for stuff when there is nothing you can make up for. There is no such thing as making up for the past, okay? You can't do that. And so we get stuck there. We get stuck trying to do that. And the complexity arises. But what are we stuck doing, really? We're just stuck in our own mind. That's where the complexity lies, in the mind. Okay? So drop it. You can drop it. You really can. Okay. So I've talked a little bit about that. But things became complicated somehow. When guys just, like I said in that show, men and women don't really want that much, okay? Men want the love of, women want the love of a father, someone that won't leave, someone that won't take advantage of them. Okay, that's kind of what they really want. And then when you realize that, you see that female behavior today is really a overreaction and bad response to not having that and being taken advantage of or whatever. And men just want a clean home, a loyal woman and a clean home and a mother to their children. How do things get so complicated, right? So there's what should I do first here? There was a woman who kind of went viral on Twitter with a comment on men and women. And hold on here. And she's getting pushback from the red pill community, pushback from the she's getting some pushback online over her comment here, where she says, "Why is it always you have bad taste in men and never abusive men tend to be highly skilled liars that conceal their red flags until it's too late. And that kind of, hey, Sion, thanks for the super chat there. Appreciate the support. But that has been a topic recently amongst the dating community, red pill and that kind of stuff. The idea of red flags, okay? Red flags. And so this woman is here. She put it out there in this conversation of women having bad taste in men. Because that is a common, what is it? A common accusation, lobbed against women. And not without merit. You know, we're seeing all this divorces, right? We're seeing single parenthood rates explode, especially in blacks and Latinos, but it continues to increase as well elsewhere in society. We're seeing the violence that comes out of these single parent homes and the violence that gets propagated into society at large, okay? We're seeing you're seeing women and who are raising all these who are raising all these violent children, these single mothers, okay? And so the accusation is not without merit, okay? They're clearly choosing wrong because the conversation is men. What are you doing wrong? What you guys are cheaters, womanizers. You guys are womanizers. You guys take advantage of women. The patriarchy, you've oppressed women to be this or that. It's always like, what are men doing wrong? The whole feminism. And so the conversation has changed a little bit to, okay, but women, why are you choosing these men? Okay? And the destruction we're seeing from these broken homes, like immeasurable. The transmutations and kaleidoscope situations that came out of one broken home. A one divorce and one broken home, all the things that in the kaleidoscope situations that have come out of that. The children raised in that home that went on to inflict their trauma on someone else, that went on and went on and went on. Is that a word, Hake? Immeasurable? Sometimes you like words that are not words, and so you're making me nervous. Okay, thanks. And yeah, immeasurable, the destruction coming out of one single broken home, right? So it's like, what would save more lives? Gun control or a chastity belt, right? Am I right, fellas? Forced. What would do more net good for society? Forced chastity belts and forced monogamy or gun control? Let's think about that, huh? Let's think about the destruction of the home wrought on by the, what can we say? By these out-of-control women who really lead the homes. And they are the choosers of mates as well, right? Nobody forced them to have that child. So it's not without merit, okay? Women having bad taste. But she says, and never abusive men tend to be highly skilled liars that conceal their red flags until it's too late. This is why, ladies, you need to be close to your fathers or at least forgive them. At least forgive. You need to either be close to at least, you have to forgive, right? Forgive your fathers if they're bad examples of Christ in the home. That way you know what a red flag is. Or love your father if he's a good example in the home. That way you know what a red flag is, okay? And you won't get fooled, okay? Because here's the thing, ladies. You can't really, really, truly hide. And men know this. Men know this. It's gonna come out, okay? It seeps out, evil, whatever. Your heart and soul, the immaterial that truly makes up you, it comes out into the physical world, okay? In your words, in your behavior, in ways that you can't control. Okay, ladies? So you can't really hide. And men know this. But if you don't know, ladies, you can't really hide. Also, you ladies, you can't really hide. So pay attention, and you'll see the red flags. And let's be real. You got to pay attention because it's not really that you don't see red flags. It's that you want false love. Most people want love. They're looking for this love, and they're okay with this false love. They see the red flags, and they know, maybe he wants me just for my body. Maybe he just wants me for this or that. But they ignore it because of their desperation in wanting that false love. And so now we start seeing just how complicated things got, okay? So, forgive. Stay close to your fathers. You'll be able to see the red flags. If you work on yourself, you'll be able to see the red flags, because the red flags are the same for all people. Maybe you don't know this, ladies. Maybe your dad didn't teach you this. But the red flag is the same in all people. Notice the red flags inside, you'll see them in others. Okay? And also men. I mean, she's not wrong, though. Men tend to be highly skilled liars that conceal their red flags until it's too late. Yeah, they learn from the best. They learn from their mothers. They learn from the world, the very feminine world. They learn exactly how to be. They feel like women. I've heard this from Jesse, and it's just so true. They feel like women. They understand the spirit of women, so they know how to manipulate a woman because they think like them. Women are just subject to us, okay, guys? Whether we're doing it for good or wrong. That's why these women, they should choose better mates, but I mean, it's up to us, guys. Okay? I'm making sense here. Anyways, I want to move on here. Things got complicated between men and women. And it's crazy how, there's just no natural failing anymore. Shout out to the housing market. Shout out to the Fed. Shout out to the US dollar. Nothing's allowed to fail naturally. Okay, let me bring it back to what I'm talking about here, though. Yesterday, if you didn't catch the show, I mentioned Adam 22 and his sordid relationship with he got married, right? He got married to a dirty video woman, and I don't know them personally. I wish them well, but she went out and did a dirty video with another man. And it went viral, and they put it out publicly like it's a normal thing, and nobody should be judging them. You guys are the weirdos for saying that, Adam 22 is weird, is wrong or weird for marrying a woman and letting her have sex with another man on camera for money. You're the weird one, okay? The heck? Well, that kind of stuff is kind of like, what's it called? Popular, okay? Polyamory, unconventional relationships, okay? And I don't just mean like polyamorous stuff. I mean just your average relationship is we're equal. Sometimes you obey, sometimes I obey. I had the funniest conversation with a woman the other day, and we were talking about obeying. And she was asking me about, what I see in a woman and dating, and I was just mentioning, for example, I'm dating someone or I'm seeing someone, and I like their personality and all that stuff. But then this person was asking me, what about marriage and all that? I'm like, my criteria there, if I have one, is really just, will she obey? Will she obey? Will she be happy to be a wife and obey me? And she was saying, no, but sometimes you obey and sometimes she obeys, right? Sometimes she obeys you because you're right, and sometimes you obey her, right? Which is so ridiculous. That's just not logical. How do you switch obeying? But I'm talking about that's kind of very common in most relationships, but that's not a marriage, and that's not very conventional. And what I'm getting at here is that these unconventional relationships is actually quite popular. And popular, or at least justified online, especially made popular by famous people, thus normalizing it, okay? Well, now we're even seeing Bill de Blasio. What was it? Bill de Blasio and his wife, now they're doing something funky and they're doing something funky and modern and out of the ordinary and unconventional. If you don't know, former New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and his wife announced a separation with that. You remember that woman, Shirlane McCray, she openly said that she was once a lesbian before meeting Bill de Blasio. But Bill de Blasio was such an alpha. I mean, that's just bringing someone who's playing for the other team back on your team. Psh, pretty alpha. But anyways, kind of joking around here. They're announcing a separation, and they're saying they're still going to live together. They're not going to file for divorce, but they want to have fun. Shirley McRae says I just want to have fun, and it's just so weird. They want to basically sleep around with other people. Okay. In this interview, apparently, I'm reading this from NBC News. Shirley McRae commented on this. In a 3-hour-long interview with the New York Times, the pair explained that their union had grown stagnant and they needed a change. I just want to have fun, McRae said, before quickly turning to de Blasio adding, it's not that we haven't had fun. Oh, dude, it's like, Bill. Hey, Bill de Blasio, come on. You can't tell me you can't tell me there's some part of you that's not okay. That's cringing a little bit. That's your wife. Come on, man. It's not that we haven't had fun, honey. Oh gosh. And even with the Adam 22 stuff I was talking about yesterday, I've seen some interviews and he's talked about it a little bit. And he was talking about it with 𝒏𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒄𝒊𝒂𝒍� on his show. And he's saying, oh yeah, no, Adam 22 is saying, no, it's fine, like whatever. But he admits that it was a little tough and that it was hard to see it and you had to get over it. Guys, are we really going to sit here and question why? You're like a woman who sees the red flags coming and you ignore them because, I don't know, for whatever weird justification. Maybe because that's not right. Maybe you're feeling a little weird because that's your wife. Hello? And so this stuff is being kind of normalized and promoted by famous people and all that. And it's having a black magic effect on people. Okay, because it used to be, at least, a woman knew, okay, if I act a certain way, if I live a life a certain way, I'm not going to have a husband. You know? Being a slut and all that. Well, okay, you could do it. But no man's going to want to marry you. Okay? There's a cost. There's a demonic cost to it. If you want to make that, if you want to sacrifice that, so be it. But know what you're doing. Yeah, women aren't allowed to fail anymore. Okay? We got Adam 22. We got Adam 22 and Bill de Blasio, the welfare state of marriage, giving these women a safety net, not letting them fail naturally, and not finding out that, hey, men don't want that, okay? Again, it goes back to what I'm saying. We still lead the way, guys. Why do you think the ladies are acting like this? They see that guys are still going to marry them if they're, go years of partying and being a slut. Getting rid of shame and ushering in Satanism. Interesting statement, David. Yeah. We got to let these women fail naturally. What's going on? We need austerity and natural failure, okay? Yeah, oh, you want to be a slut? Okay. But don't marry them, fellas. Anyways, life's complicated. I don't know the dealings. I don't know the ins and outs of what goes on behind closed doors. I wish you well, Adam 22, Bill de Blasio. I sincerely wish you well. It's just crazy. Homeless addict. Here's another one. Homeless drug addict turned OnlyFans model. Makes a Billboard debut. I mean, this is the state of men, really, even in this case. Was homeless and drug addicted. But, I mean, she's not ugly. Started selling nudes and stuff online. $200,000 a month all of a sudden. Wait a second, is this... You could decry her actions, but really, this is a mirror on us. This is a mirror on society. $200,000. She's a homeless drug addict, okay? And people don't wake up wanting to be that. People don't wake up wanting their lives to end up that way. I understand. You can overcome. But, you know, these aren't usually the people who are lauded in society, right? These aren't the people who are, you know, successful and should be, I don't know, propagating their way of life, propagating their children. Like, that's not usually how it goes. But we have some weird welfare society where the men here, subject to their own desires and simp nature, can't help but give this woman $200,000 a month. You got to work on yourself, okay? Not feed the ego. Apparently it's very lucrative to feed the ego in this society. This is a mirror. Which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack. That is a funny comment. Oh, man. All right, y'all. From tweaker to porn star. Amazing. Amazing. You can do anything in America, okay? Don't let anybody tell you can't do anything, okay? Upward mobility, ladies. You're telling me there's no upward mobility in America? Excuse me. Have you seen the all-American inspirational story of the drug-addicted homeless woman who went on to do porn? Yeah, that's an American story. Okay. All right, y'all. That's enough. That's an all. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Pull yourself up by the thong strap. Anyways, let's move on here. It's a party on Rumble. The party grows. Thank you. The Hake Report, Luminiferous, and Mildew grew. You guys are keep holding it down there. You can support over there. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Oh, geez. All right. I disavow homeless porn. Yes, Matthew, I do as well. I think we can all agree. Hey, you know what else we can agree on? I think there's enough porn. Right? Like, I think it's done. Can we agree? Like, it's all, like, there's enough of that. We can stop. Can we agree on that? I think we can stop. I think there's enough. Test. Am I buffering? Hey, let me know if I'm buffering. Sorry, guys. Am I having technical issues here? Yeah, there's already more than you could ever watch. Like, please, you guys can stop. I think you guys can stop. I'm stealing a Hannibal Buress joke from, what was it? What was that show? Hannibal Buress. He was like the co-host with Eric Andre on the Eric Andre show. And it was like a side comment Hannibal Buress made. And it stuck with me. It's so funny. It stuck with me forever. Yeah, I think there's enough. I think we could stop. All right, I'm getting some threes. It sounds like the stream might have issues. I'm gonna check the stream here. Apologies for the strange interlude, as some say, as some famous hosts that you might be aware of. Some say like that. Some speak that way. I'm checking the YouTube stream right now. I just want to be doubly sure that the stream is okay again. I think okay. All right, y'all. Apologies for that. Not sure what the heck that was. I have first world internet and the stream is smooth. Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you keeping it, holding it down. You guys are my techs. You guys are my engineers as well as Bill. Hey, Bill. That caller on my show who says that. I don't know why I find that very funny. Hey, Bill. All right. Here's what's next. Speaking of the breakdown of the family, speaking of the breakdown of the family and all that we're talking about here, check this out. You're going to want to take this one in. We're talking about child support, okay, because we're talking about the California Reparations Task Force, okay? Now, you might know a little bit about, you may know a lot I got a comment. I got a comment on this. Hake says porn, crack, and acid are CIA drugs. I think we could say that's somewhat true. I mean, acid is definitely a CIA drug. So I don't know why you guys are out there doing CIA drugs. Okay, hello. I thought you guys were woke. I thought you guys were enlightened. Oh, dude, yeah, man. I see. I'm so enlightened, man. I could see, dude. They're just trying to brainwash us, man. You got to open up your consciousness and do this acid. That's a CIA drug. You hippie. Anyways, I'm sorry. California Reparations Task Force. You've heard of these people. They're controversial. They want reparations, okay? And they've made a lot of noise recently. We've played clips. They've gone viral of these people and this task force, okay? And them releasing documents and recommendations. They've been in the news. They've been in the news regularly, okay? Where was I? Oh, yeah. And so they're in the news. Okay. These people have gone all the way around insanity back to based. Okay? Because I think we can agree on something here. And I'm saying that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but what I'm talking about is a report here that the California Reparations Task Force is calling for the elimination of child support debt. Now, they're saying just for black residents, because the nation's laws have torn African-American families apart. Wait, hold on. That might be kind of based. They gone full circle. That might be somewhat based. The task force released their historic 1,100-page report last week that could amount to hundreds of billions of dollars in payment. Jeez, hundreds of billions. Like, guys.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, come on. We can talk about that after. The report revealed the state's black residents represent a larger percentage of those who owe child support debt than their proportion of the state's population. So we got to wait. You're telling me is a disproportionate amount of deadbeat dads? Is that what you're telling me? I don't even like that term, deadbeat dad. But are we getting a little bit of crime stats blindness here? Kind of like when you see the stats that blacks are disproportionately jailed, the conclusion is, well, it's because of racism. I mean, there could be another side, though, right? I mean, am I ridiculous in saying that there could be another side? Maybe that they commit more crime. Is this a similar thing going on here? The report revealed the state's black residents represent a larger percentage of those who owe child support debt than their proportion of the state's population. The Democratic-controlled state legislature has yet to approve or deny the requests being made, okay? And so, you may not know that child support is pretty evil, okay? The state works, they in an unholy matrimony with angry mothers, the state works with them. Okay, here's how it works. Maybe you don't know. Child support doesn't happen. Only happens when one party loses. Okay. Yeah. Did you know that there's a winner and a loser in in child custody cases? It's almost never like straight 50-50. Okay, because in those 50-50 cases there would be no child support. There has to be a winner and a loser here, one who keeps the kids and one that doesn't. Because then you can do the child support thing. And guess who gets money? Not the kid. Not even the mother. The mother gets some money. But the state gets money. The state gets money in doing this, okay? They get rich. You following me here? In an unholy matrimony, the state and angry women, the state has, teamed up with angry women in this unholy matrimony to go after men. Okay? You see what I'm saying here? It's really evil, the whole child support thing. Oh, but Nick, these mothers need money. You got these men abandoning them, Okay, Nick, don't you talk about the 70% or whatever single motherhood rate in the black community? Aren't you based enough to say you got all these? You're based enough to say all these black men don't want our deadbeat dads, but who's gonna watch the children? Again, that doesn't make it the state's business. And again, that doesn't make it okay that the state can cinch up with these angry women to go after men. That's between them. And hello, didn't we just talk about women choosing these people? Okay? Women choose this stuff, okay? So where's the fault over there? Let's be real here. The problem here though is that this California task force is saying it's a black thing, and they're saying the task force alleged that discriminatory laws have torn African American families apart. And it's just evil because the evil child support cases against men is happening to all, okay? And it's not due to racism. Okay? It's due to control. It's due to and it's contributing to this breakdown. So I don't even disagree with the California Task Force Reparations Task Force about this. That, I don't know if you could say torn African American families apart. That's like saying the CIA made the blacks all addicted to crack. Well, they still smoked it. Well, they still women chose wrong, and the men still abandoned their families, which is wrong. The black men, the black men weren't forced to do that. But yeah, this strain of child support, I'm sure, is tearing us apart, Lisa. And look, but here's another: the disproportionate amount of African American child support debt should be a mirror. Okay, should be a mirror into what are we doing wrong, black men? Okay, because it's not disproportionate because of the evil government. Okay, the evil government is evil for hooking up with angry women for their own gain, but you still, you're not there for the kids. Anyways, it's just an interesting thing that this California Task Force reparations thing arrived to, when and yet at the same time it lacks true light, because you need self-responsibility to truly repent. You need to truly see that you're wrong. And if these people are just going to say it's racism, honestly, when is the black family ever going to get better? When is any family going to get better? Because it's not just blacks. This is like the common prevailing mentality between men and women, and in the courts and in marriage. Okay? It's men abandon. You must pay child support. All that. Okay? That's like the prevailing culture. How is anything going to get better if we can't self-reflect, right? I have a caller here, Kaya, North Carolina. Thanks for calling my show, Kaya. You're on the air.
Hey, Nick. Long time. How are you?
What's up? Yeah, pleasure. I don't think I've talked to you as the American Anchor Baby.
I don't think so. I think I only called your show when you first started Nick Stream last year.
Very cool. Well, thanks for your call.
I'm lame for that. Yeah. I was just tuning in and hearing about the child support thing that you were talking about.
Okay. Hit me. What do you think?
So I'm from Texas, and in Texas, if I were to have a child with a man and we're not together, and let's say I go to get any sort of government assistance because whatever, I'm poor, I'm black, whatever. Once I file for that government assistance, I'll say specifically I know it's child care.
Okay.
The only way I'm going to get approved for child care is if I open a child support case on the father.
Wow.
The father doesn't have to pay necessarily, but I have to at least have filed a case, which I guess is the state's way of saying, okay, if we're going to have cover your finances for this, then we need the other party to be responsible in some kind of way.
Interesting.
But if the other party does pay, the state will still help me pay whatever the cost, but I can't get that help unless there's an open child support case.
And what do you think about that?
So, I'm kind of torn when it comes to child support, because part of me does believe that regardless if man and woman both wanted the child, if the child is now here and they're born, then we both need to somehow be responsible for the upbringing of this child. I believe that's what's right, but I don't know how right it is for the state to step in and determine amounts and regulation. But I do think it makes sense that if the child's going to be living, both parents need to be accountable. But I don't think it's true accountability, because all they're doing is saying you're financially accountable. But the caveat is, even though there will be a visitation order in place, there's no enforcement that I can do to make the other parent who is paying to make them see this child. They will enforce it and make you pay.
Right.
But if you don't see the child, there's no visitation enforcement that they do. It's all about the money.
Very interesting. In fact, when you see it like that, it almost gives men who do pay child support a justification for not being there. Well, I did what I have to do.
Yeah, in a way,
I did what I have to do.
Like,
I paid my child support.
Yes, and I've actually experienced this because, most probably nobody remembers, but I have two separate sets of children because I was 25 when I had my first daughter, unmarried, and then when I was married, I had two more kids. But with my firstborn, her father never, and I'm not saying this to slander him, it's just the truth. He never truly wanted me to have the baby, but I wasn't able to go through with terminating the pregnancy, obviously. So his position was always, I'm not going to be involved.
Right.
Now, financially, he's done what he can do because I did file child support way back when because I had to, because my daughter was receiving medical assistance.
Yes.
But he always has been vocal and honest and told me, I'm paying my child support and that's all I'm going to do.
Interesting.
Now, he would come and go, but that was always his thing. Like, you're taking my money and I don't even want you to do that. And I just have had to deal with that. Because
I'm sorry, go on.
No, you go.
When the child, and this sounds almost like I'm almost going to sound ignorant, but I sincerely mean it. When the child does not need money. That's not what the child needs.
No.
And you might think,
they don't.
You're being so ignorant. Like, we still got to buy diapers. We got to buy food. Duh. But the child does not need money. The child needs, love. And you can have love in a dirt hut, okay?
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, like, when my daughter was born and I knew from his mouth, like, hey, I don't want you to have this kid. And I was like, well, I'm already pregnant. So, it's too late. Like, what are we going to do?
Right.
And this was an ongoing situation. It wasn't like I just woke up pregnant. Like, we knew we were risking the possibility of a pregnancy. So when it happened and he told me he wasn't going to be involved, I accepted that. But over the years, it's been kind of touch and go with the involvement. But when he does go away, his stance is always, well, I'm sending my checks. But in the recent history, he has stopped paying, but I haven't reported it. I just accepted it. I've let it go. I don't get any government help from my daughter anymore. No Medicaid, no food stamps, no daycare, no nothing. And yes, his income would help, but it's not worth continuing to fuel that flame because I can see it obviously angers him to even have to do it. And if we can survive without his money, then that's just what we're going to do. And that's what we've been doing. But some states, you have no choice but to create a case.
I understand that. And this doesn't go, I don't say this without at all, at least trying to understand that, for example, it's you need money to eat. You need money to live. Okay. And the world's expensive. And the man is supposed to, you make a baby, you would think, you kind of need him. So that doesn't go without understanding. That doesn't mean I would judge.
But it's kind of like
an
just
individual.
You need them. Yeah, you can't make them come around suddenly because there's a life and like, hey, we both need you because we were in the fallen state. This is what we did, and it's kind of like the sting when they say like Christ took the sting from sin. The sting of it would be me 12 years later, still chasing him, still trying to get his money, still trying to text and say, hey, your daughter needs, and doing all that would be the thing. But the stillness is just letting it happen. If that's how he wants, and that's just what it is. The other thing is if you're married in Texas and you get divorced, the judge is not signing those divorce papers unless somebody is on child support, even if it's a 50-50 custody. And I only know
I
this
heard that
my
actually
divorce
from
took 2
Jeff
years.
Younger.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to sign it unless somebody is paying.
Wow.
And in my case, my kids live with their father. They don't live with me. And so the child support order is on me now.
Gotcha.
Even though they're with their father, they have more than they could ever need because they're with their father. But legally, I'm now on the hook for child support.
Wow.
So I don't know how much help it is for anybody when the government steps in that way. I have tried to justify child support. I've tried to not like it, but I don't have an opinion about it anymore because it's like any other law. You know the law exists. This is the consequence of what you did, and it's kind of like, what are you going to do? You're either going to pay it or you're not. You know, some places will take you to jail if you don't pay it. You know what I mean? But
and I pretty much sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I pretty much totally agree. And what I was saying earlier, what I just wanted to finish was that this doesn't go without understanding. Okay, I know you need money, and it's not sometimes it's not enough. You need the man, and he's not going to be around. Okay, so this doesn't come from me judging an individual in their individual situation. Okay, like I said, you need money in this world, and so sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But that being said, it's kind of more macro, like. How is this beneficial for society when you're giving them this justification that they could just go to the states and go against the man? Okay, individually, it's like, I mean, I'm not going to judge an individual situation. You need money, but you know, on the grand scale,
but I don't even know how true that is.
Right, even that may not be so true. I'm just simply saying on the grand scale is why it should be removed because its effect on the grander scale.
Right, and I agree with you, and I definitely don't take any judgment. You know, however you feel about it. But on the grand scheme of things, it kind of is just the same as illegal abortion. It's just a way out. Wow. So even though, yes, you can pay child support till the kid is 18 and you could never see that kid. So while that kid may have been able to, you know, the mother or the father may have been able to pay for activities, shoes, you know, whatever extra cost, the presence of the parent wasn't there, so that money really never mattered. So it's really not benefiting society per se, especially when you can still get, I think people think you can't get government benefits if you receive child support. You still can get the government benefits while that man is paying child support. So that whole thing about taking the man out of the house and that whole like, oh, this is when black people decline, it's like, well, if we could see that was what was happening, why did we still fall for it?
Yeah.
If we could see the government was saying, okay, we'll just take the man out of the house and we'll supply all this stuff. Well, that's hurting the economy because y'all are supplying these unpaid goods and then the children are still going without a father. And then even if the father is paying the child support, that woman's income is increased by 1/3, but the government will still help you. You can still get food stamps. You can still get Medicaid. You can still get all that stuff. So it's not really producing productive people. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's kind of like, I don't really see the sense in it either way, and I think it does create more anger for the men because the men feel like they're losing out.
Yeah.
They can be on, like, you could be paying child support for years and years and years and still never even see your kid. And you have no fight to even present to the court because as long as the mom has one iota of proof that you did one little thing, they're going to side with the mother.
Crazy.
Or the custodial parent, but 90%, you know, that's the mother.
Dang, Kaya.
You know,
so what would you say to young women, young men wanting to get married? Do you have any? Because I think you just made them all go MGTOW. No, I'm joking.
No, I'm black and
playing.
slow. I have nothing. You know what? I would say to people who truly want to get married, you have to look at why do you want to get married?
Ooh.
Because if you only want to get married because you want that lifelong companionship and blah, 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 you even have to look at that.
Dang.
And I have struggled with this for the longest time because I was married and now I'm not. But there's still a part of me that believes God's design is for a man and a woman to join together, you know, but I wasn't raised that the only reason they join together is to create children. I just always believed it was deeper than just the children. So I'm still having to unlearn even that part of it.
True.
But
that's how I grew up as well. That's how I grew up as well. That it's supposed to be your partner, this person you're going to go through life with and grow.
Right.
Which is all true,
and
sort
even,
of, but like that's
it is,
that's not
but
why
it
you
starts
seek
to be like,
That's what you do anyways
It's
in
not.
life, with or without someone.
And even in the churches, they have this notion that if you are to be married, and let's say you don't have children, there's still a greater mission, kind of like that 𒒏𝒊𝒂𝒎, or what was 𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒎? I'll say 𝒏𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒆𝒂𝒑.
Yeah. On the fallen state?
𝒏𝒊𝒄𝒌𝒔𝒕𝒓𝒄𝒑, yeah, I understood her point of saying, we still have a greater purpose as a married couple, and there's still things that we can do for the kingdom. And I do agree with that. And in the churches, they teach, like, part of your mission, they say this to the husband, is to present your wife to Christ undefiled and pure, like basically bring the hell out of her. So when she dies and is before God, you can say, hey, God, look, she's good now. She can be with you. I cleaned her all up. So the churches do teach that there's a greater purpose to marriage besides just the children. But where I am now in life, I'd say the only way you really truly can know if you can even be married, you have to know yourself.
Yep.
And if your reasons are ego related, you can't do it.
So
and there's
true.
really, what other reasons are there besides ego?
That is such a
I mean,
good
there
point.
are finances. Don't get me wrong. I watch Kevin Samuels. There's some financial reasons for a woman.
For sure.
I mean, at the end of the
hold
day,
on for
right?
dear life. I get it. Fall,
I'm already in
sinking
the
ship,
danger
hold on
zone,
for
you know
dear
what I'm
life. I understand it.
So it's hard to, how it is when you're waking up, you're just trying to unlearn all these wrong things and not judge yourself for where you're at.
So true,
but
Kaya.
it's just
Honestly,
rough.
Yeah, chat. If you're listening, if you're getting anything, you should be listening. It's a good call. But here's a good litmus test. If your reasoning for marrying someone, you're dating someone, and your reason is anything, you can have many reasons, but if it's centered around anything besides, I want her to be the wife to my children, and she will obey, then you might be motivated by the wrong thing. Examine yourself.
Yeah, because what happens when you do marry in that state, if just one of you start to wake up and the other one doesn't, you're almost guaranteed to fail. Damn. And as we can see in society, the marriages where people do stay together for 20, 30, 40 years and they're producing children, those kids are in hell too. So they're sending kids out into the world who are in the same amount of hell, even as if they never grew up with the father.
Right.
It doesn't always, just because you have the husband and the wife at home, it doesn't mean that they're actually in a marriage under God's umbrella.
Totally.
They could just be sticking it out because they don't want to say that they messed up. But if it's not under God's umbrella, then we're damned, like we've been for years and years and years now as a society. I know plenty of married people that are miserable. Yeah, they're miserable. The wife is running the husband to hell. The kids hate their father. The man is weak. The men are dying first. Like, there's so many ways you can see that the marriages are not even under God's umbrella. But yeah, you committed, you stayed together, good for you. But it's like, at what cost?
Totally. Yeah, that's what we're seeing.
I hope I don't sound bitter.
No,
I'm not bitter about marriage.
No, not at all. Not at all. And we're seeing the fruits, okay? You're saying at what cost? Well, it's immeasurable. The anger and the hatred that's happening in the children, the trauma. But we're even seeing overarching more, kind of more salacious examples that are coming out in the media and the news. I think Adam 22 and these men that are okay with these open marriages and stuff is from that.
Disgusting.
It's from what you described. The woman leads, everything's still wrong, but hey, at least we're together. At least we stay together.
Or just like all these so-called celebrities who are now leaving their husbands, the Kardashians and the Kamora Lees and the Giselle Bündchen or whatever. They'll leave these marriages and now trash the man that they were happy to marry and publicly trashing him, but then also crying like, oh, woe is me, I'm a single mom. Well, you should have just stayed then.
Yeah, Kim Kardashian.
You were already
I used
there.
to love Kanye. I want him back. She literally did the Kanye song. I want the Kanye. She literally she did the.
And all he did was wake up. The man started waking up, and his wife was not with it. And now he doesn't have his. Those are 4 children whose souls are being burned in hell every day under that woman, if they're even real.
Right.
So I don't know. Sometimes it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But if the reason you got married was because he was fine and the sex is good and we had a good time, that ain't gonna last. That's not lasting.
Yep.
At all.
Interesting point, Kaya. Thank you for that. Yeah, examine yourselves.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I do appreciate your call, Kaya. Call me again.
Same here. Nice talking to you, Nick. Take care.
Take care. Moving the wheels. All right. What a mess, guys. What a mess. But it doesn't have to be that complex, okay? You could drop it, okay? Stop trying to be someone. Stop trying to be, trying to find this partner. Oh, I want to be, I'm so lonely. You could just drop it and work on yourself, okay? And yeah, little clue, little litmus test, okay? You can like her for her personality. You could be like this. You could be like this with that person because for some reason they're just like you. And you guys are close and it works. But but you know, that's one thing. And then that's like marriage, okay? Well, what's the purpose? Okay, children, and how do the marriages work? Well, the order she must obey. So all that is secondary. You know, personality and all that. It's secondary, but I almost make it sound like you should be out there with some criteria looking for something in the first place. I don't know, guys. It's still a little bit of a mystery to me. I'm not so sure you should be looking for someone. It could very well be it's like a perfect story where God sends you the right one. So be prepared. Like I was saying earlier, work on yourself so you're prepared for anything. Whatever door God wants you to walk through, you'll be ready for it. It may very well be that God sends you a woman. I also suspect God does not send you a woman. I also suspect God doesn't send you a woman. That doesn't happen. And I might expand on that another day. But yeah, I don't know if he sends you a woman, okay? I don't know if that's exactly how it works. Not that you shouldn't get married or whatever. Yeah, I might have to expand on that another day. Anyways, guys, that's the show. Like, that's pretty. If we can go home, we could pack up and go home after that call, right? Like when Jesse says we could go home. We just had church. What else do I got for you guys? Let's see, what's here? Oh, Sion, thanks for the support there. Very much appreciated. Back-to-back super chats there from Sion. She says, people are getting together for temporary reasons. Like Jesse says, they are looking for something from each other. Sex, bill sharing life expensive now. Yeah. They're looking, right. They want a business partner. They want someone to have sex with. They want someone to make money with, to be able to share their bills with. It's very shallow. It's very shallow. What else do I have? Not what else do I got? What else do I got? What else do I got for y'all? You know, we've had a nice show, guys. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate you guys being with me today. I mean, what else can we do here? I got some silly stuff. What about tipping? Can we talk about tipping a little bit? Just to extend the show here a little bit instead of leaving so early, right? I mean, we got through the deep stuff. We got through the nice call. We got the silly stories out. What about this? Okay. Do you guys tip? I mean, I tip, right? At a restaurant and stuff. But tipping's out of control, guys. Tipping's out of control. I go to a store. I go to a coffee shop. Literally, everything's asking me for a tip. The DoorDash, the Uber Eats, which I try to stay away from, okay? That's poor people stuff. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's poor people stuff. Now, some people do have the money and they're affluent and they'll do the poor people stuff because they got the money for it. But yeah, I got the Uber Eats, I got the Netflix, I got this subscription, that subscription. That's poor people mentality, okay? You're happy in your little cubicle and you have your little stuff and you're happy and I don't need, you following me here? I've built my little world around me. I have my Uber Eats, my Netflix, and that's all I need. My itch has been scratched. My appetites, my basic appetites have been scratched. Don't need to think or overcome or grow or make myself better. Yeah, like I said, be careful with that stuff. And you know, it's also expensive. It's not financially smart. Okay, but the Uber Eats is asking you for a tip, and then you want the tip. I heard that there's people who tip your Uber. There's people who tip the Uber Eats driver cash in their hand on top of the tip that you give in the app. And by the way, who's getting all these tips? Like when you do the tip on the app, I bet there has to be percentages, and it's divvied up, and it's going to Uber. Okay. Yeah, some people tip. Nick tips at McDonald's. No. If you're not listening, that's what I'm not doing here, okay? Because I'm seeing everywhere I go, a coffee shop, you'll see the little screen in front of you and you pay for something. It'll be like, tip. You'll go to a Subway and they want a tip. It's like, okay, I know you're called a sandwich artist. I know you got a nice fancy title like a sandwich artist, okay? But the people at McDonald's made my sandwich too, and I don't tip them. What the heck is this? Anyways, it's a little ridiculous, okay? For me, tipping is like a good service thing. Isn't that what it was supposed to be? There was this DoorDash customer who received a Pizza Hut order. Okay? Nothing deep, okay? We're just doing silly stuff now. Okay, she received a Pizza Hut order and only gave a $5 tip. And the person who was delivering this pizza was not quite happy. Let me see if I can show you the clip here. Let's see if I can show you the clip. Can I show you the beautiful bean footage? Hold up. I'm making sure the technical stuff here is working. USB audio driver. USB audio driver. Hold up, y'all. It's not that important, but some of you already know what video I'm talking about. And this pizza guy is like, oh, it's a pretty nice house for a $5 tip. And then the lady responds, "You're welcome." You know, it's like, okay, you're gonna be catty about that. Says, "Okay, you're welcome." And the guy responds and says, "F you." Entitled freaking America, man. Am I wrong here? Am I a stingy? Am I being an anchor baby about tips? What do you guys think? I just don't think I can be convinced otherwise here. Okay? Good service, a good mechanic, someone you trust, someone who does something that you wouldn't be able to do yourself. And now you trust them to do it. That deserves a tip, right? But I'm not tipping a sandwich artist, okay? Like, okay, just make the sandwich. Okay? Like, that's just my little gripe, okay? Apparently this guy got fired. Mom of two, Lacey Percival. That's an interesting last name. Percival. Lacey Percival, 38, told Daily Mail that she was in a... I am reading the wrong thing here. But this DoorDash driver was fired. Okay? Because he picked a fight with a disabled vet. They have to put their identities in these stories, okay? The lady who answered the door, this DoorDash driver, is apparently a disabled vet. So you got to add it in, right? You got to add it in, get the full story. So apparently the driver, described as being in his late 20s, who shouted the profanity, has been terminated. So that's what you get. I would have gone back and been like, honestly, I would have no problem going back. I would have snatched back the bill, says David. That's literally what I was about to say. I would have had no embarrassment. I have no shame about that. Heck no. I would have gone right up to that guy and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, you're so right. Here's a 20. Just give me back the 5. And then walk in with both. Walk back in with both. Oh, now you get nothing. I would have no shame doing that. No shame. There's some things I just have no shame with. Like the other day, I went to a grocery store. And this guy was having a little bit of a meltdown. The cashier clerk was, ringing my groceries there. I was trying to get down July 4th. I was doing those mustard fried smash burgers I was talking about earlier. Well, I had to go purchase them. I went to the grocery store, and it didn't say I saw the clerk there. He looked a little like, I don't know, maybe some odd energy, but I didn't think about it too much. And then I see him punching, like giving some light to medium punches to the desk and the kind of computer area around him. Just kind of, I smash. Me smash. Kind of reminds me when I was a kid. When I was a kid and I would get mad, in my mind I would hear, I want to smash, like a Hulk or something, and I would literally want to smash. And I'd want to like break things. Little raging child. But this clerk was just like punching stuff and just like, and I'm like, my first impression was, okay, the computer's not working. He's just like, come on, you dumb thing, work. And then he does it again. So, and I'm starting to get the vibe like he might be mad. So I'm like, hey, you practicing moves? You practicing some moves, or is the computer faulty? And he gives me the dirtiest look. I don't know. It's just some things I have no shame about. I'm like, hey man, you practicing some moves there, or you? He's like already having a bad day. He's got this guy, and I'm like, Happy Independence Day, all loud in his face. Yeah, some things are just. I love ragers. They're so funny. People that are raging, they can be dangerous, but in this case, he was like a big old teddy bear, big old Mexican teddy bear, just smashing his computer. He's like, oh, someone having a bad day. I'm not judging. I've been there. I've been a beta. All right, y'all. That's my little story. That's my little show. Those are my little calls. I had a blast. I hope you did as well. Join me tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. We got more show. We got Thursday show planned out for you guys. It should be nice. And of course, we got the Friday flight. Where should we fly to? I'm open to suggestions. Men's Forum tomorrow. Do not forget, if you're in the area, LA area, come to the Men's Forum. Don't be cute. Don't be cute like some of the ladies or whatever. You know, we have the Men's Forum, guys. Come on. If you're in the area, come on down. 7 o'clock here at the Bond headquarters. It's always a blast. They're always great. For the Men's Forum, only men. Otherwise, we shall see you tomorrow for the JLP Show, Hake Report, and of course, American Anchor Baby. Appreciate you being here today. Catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.